Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bang, bing, 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 bong, bong, bing, 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 boo, 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 bing, 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 bong, bada bing, 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 boom. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome back to another episode of the Heart to Heart Podcast. As always, I am the host, Gregory Hart. This is a fly by the seat of your pants episode because Gregory didn't have his shit together. Okay, so we're gonna sit down, we're gonna chat about life, the usual, sitting there waking up every morning, not knowing what the fuck you want to do with it, feeling the pressure of everyone around you, trying to be as good as everyone else. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Don't be a fucking bum. Okay, don't be a bum your whole life. Just do what makes you happy, and if being a bum makes you happy, don't be happy. Like it just seems like the right call. All seriousness though, we're leaving here in a week today to Mexico. Give me the tequila and the taquitos and the tacos and the diarrhea. I can't wait. I am pumped up. We'll be playing the PGA Mayan Riviera Maya course. I'm going to lose 158 golf balls and shoot 145. So math doesn't add up there. Losing more golf balls than strokes, but we're probably not going to count them all. I think there's 2 mulligans per hole. Seems fair and doable. I think that if you're going to play a PGA National course, I think that as a guy who shoots 100 fairly consistently, I'm a little bit more in the 90s, I guess now, but I think that 2 mulligans a hole is fair. Like I'm pretty sure that hole 15 is a 245 yard par 3 over water. So, if you ain't clearing 200, I guess take the drop. I don't know. Save the golf ball. Be renting clubs. Hopefully they're like TaylorMade burners or better, hitting a nice Bernie burner. 200 yards would be pretty fucking sick. Altogether though, the podcast has been doing well. I've seen a lot of growth over the past month, which I really want to thank everyone for, subscribing to the YouTube channel and helping us grow on Instagram. And mine and my wife's podcast is starting to do quite well as well. We finally got our first sponsor for the Heart to Heart H2H Studios podcasts. Actually, next week is the product is supposed to show up, so we can get rolling with that. But it's been a wild year. Between Jamaica, San Diego, Los Angeles, California, Buffalo. Gotta throw Buffalo in there. I went and saw the Bills play. Now we're leaving for Mexico. I've traveled more this year than I have my entire life combined. That's a guarantee. Will you stop licking your cock? I'm trying to do a podcast. Hey, dick licker. Yeah, go to bed. Put your head down. Go to sleep. Sorry, my cock-licking dog over here is just, trying to let everyone feel the sounds of his saliva rubbing against his scrotum, which is kind of cool. No, it's a busy year. I think car accident, everything all involved, and past couple of years, it's kind of been not a midlife crisis, but kind of like I'm not gonna wait to travel. Because, like, if you don't make it, what's the point? You know what I mean? I think that the living every day like it's your last is fucking far-fetched. Because, like, I would say some wild fucking shit to people that I would likely regret if I lived every day like it was my last. Like, you'd get a telegram from me, and I'd be, telling you everything I didn't like about you. But I think that there's a big change with how expensive things are. I know that we're only seeing that since COVID, but it's at the point now where if you really do the math, I understand that living now is harder than living in the 80s or 70s or whenever you bought a house for $5,000 at 15% interest. It's obviously still so much more now to live based on how much we make. But at the same time, I think that like this big thought of retiring starting to be far-fetched. Like, am I supposed to spend the next 40 years of my life? Not even. Not even. The next, I don't know, let's say 30 by the time I'm 58. I want to retire by 58 if I'm going to retire. Another 30 years of putting so much money away every month so that if I make it to 58 years old, I can try and travel before something else gets me, like cancer or dementia or Alzheimer's or any of these fucking terrible things. How about I just live now? And at the age of like, I don't know, 65, when I'm probably going to start dying, just huck me. Not like a river or into a fire or anything, because like that sounds like a terrible way to go. But just like, everyone signs the documents and they say it's time for you to go. And then they inject me and I go see Jesus for the first time. See what kind of cock he's got on him, because he's probably hung like a fucking Brazilian, you know what I mean? Like he's just probably hung like a horse. I think there's just a lot of people are worried, scared, not knowing what the fuck to do with their life right now. Like it's very hard to think to yourself that like there is a fucking 15-year-old kid or 10-year-old kid reviewing toys on YouTube and making millions of dollars a year, and you're going to your fucking 9 to 5 where you empty bedpans. Like who the fuck knows what you do? Or you put a part on a press, or you flip a burger, or you do someone's taxes, or you're in sales or whatever it is. Like you're like, I am grinding to make what this kid makes in one video. Like, trust me, I understand that you have to hit the perfect algorithm, perfect storm to be able to do that yourself. But like, this kid can go fuck himself, really. Like, not in like a rude way. Like, I hope that he's okay. Like, I hope he's having a good life. Like, his parents aren't fucking using and abusing him. But at the same time, like, fuck you, you know? I like Mr. Beast. Guy grinded. Guy got told he wasn't going to fucking make it to nothing as a young age. He said, fuck you. I am the king of all nerds, which is a good thing. Everyone knows that's a good thing now. You don't see any fucking poor ass nerds, do you? See a lot of broke ass college or high school football players who, hit their fucking stride in high school. Love to see that. I don't care. I was a middle of the pack person in high school. I think I'm above average now. Yeah, that's pretty confident. That's confidence speaking right there, but I'd say that's probably accurate based on the median of people. Now, if I was thinking about how many people I went to high school with that were popular or in their prime or the quarterback or whatever the fuck they had to be popular in high school, there's a lot of fucking losers now, and I love it. Love it. Now, it's not like I'm sitting here going like, I hope your life is trash. Fuck you. I'm just like, if it happens and I had nothing to do with it, worth it. You know what I mean? That's a win-win. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Um, no, I just think there's a lot of pressure on us right now. I think that my generation is the best. Maybe everyone says that, but I'll tell you why. I think that the generation before us, like our parents, they grew up with, wow, I'm making myself tired. I wonder how you're feeling. Anyway, they grew up with like, I guess being able to say anything they wanted or do anything they wanted, or not as much like if you said something, it wasn't like it ended up online. It made it to 100,000 people or 1,000,000 people. If you like, you didn't know. I feel like you didn't know as much was going on in the world. I got thinking about this the other day. I said to my mother's boyfriend, I said, I think he's like 60 or almost 60, gonna be 60. I don't fucking know. Anyway, looked at him and I said, let's just use Adam for example. Hey Adam, like what was it like not knowing what the fuck was going on in the world unless you read a newspaper? And like it just really got going through my mind. Like I was at the age where like the iPhone came out when I was in high school. I guess no, not high school. Yeah, middle school. He started like middle schoolish, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, probably like grade 9 or 10. the like first iPhone came out, the Blackberries were out, the Samsung started dropping, and it was like I remember being like I thought it was so cool that you could put a fake Zippo on a phone, like you could flip it up and light the flame, and you tilted your phone and the flame moved, and I thought that was the cat's pajamas. But we grew up with like we got raised not on technology, like not as much as it is now. Like, yeah, there was Xboxes, there was PlayStation 1s, very simple, not playing with the entire world yet. Um, Holy shit. I don't know what's going on with me. Um, but we also got like moved into understanding and how to use technology in like our high school and college days. Like the phones were bigger, social media was getting bigger, like different apps and stuff to find jobs was getting more accessible, places to rent, places to buy was more accessible. Like you used to have to look in the newspaper or drive by a house that was for sale before the internet. Like before the internet was as usable as it is now. Like I still remember growing up and trying to play like I can't remember what the game was called, but it was like a third person shooter or first person shooter on my computer, and it was dog trash. Like it was dog trash. I can't stop yawning. I am fucking boring. But back to what I was saying there, like I think that like we grew up with not having electronics to grow up with, so we were outside a lot. We were playing sports, and we got that part of our lives. Then once high school came, cell phones started to get bigger, and like the accessibility to reach out to the world got a little bigger. And then by the time we were in college, social media was growing, and by the time we were done college, graduated, everyone was getting careers. The world is just blown up where social media runs fucking everything. And I think that we've gotten a good mix of both sides of the world. How do you stop yawning? This is brutal. Um, I think that my parents' generation had very little to do with electronics and technology, and now you see them post on Facebook, and it's cringy as hell. And then you see someone post like a happy birthday photo, and then 9 people comment on the photo instead of just wishing them a happy birthday themselves on their wall or sending them a DM. And like it's fun, like it's just what they're used to, and I can see obviously how like some of them get scammed with how some of them get scammed with Aladdin, texting them or messaging them on Facebook saying they need help, they're fucking stranded. Like I get it. Like it's a weird thing for them to understand the realm of like our understanding to technology because we grew up on it. And then you go to like the generation under me and it's like by the time you were like able to move your thumbs, you knew how to use a tablet better than my parents. Like you could fly through a tablet, you play Minecraft or Blocks or Blockus or whatever the fuck it's called. You have social media, like you don't even really use Facebook. The younger generation doesn't even use it. It's like Instagram, which is still starting to fade out. TikTok is the biggest for them. Snapchat, like all these are so much more popular to them than they ever were to us. Like my generation is probably like Instagram's the number one, Facebook's number two, if not three. People are using TikTok ish, but not at the same level as these younger kids. And I just feel like we have a good realm of the way the world has been. We got to see that change. It was such a big shift. We have people that are 100 years old right now that you tell them that you're on TikTok making a video shaking your ass, and they're kind of like, you're a stripper? You're in the porn industry? Like, how much money are you making?" They're like, "Yeah, 100,000 a month." You're like, what the fuck? Thank God I worked my entire life, and it took me 25 years to make $100,000. But anyway, um, yeah, I think it's a weird thing to get used to. Why am I yawning like such a bitch right now? Yeah, all I can think about is the three generations: the Boomers, Gen Z, and what the hell was I? I don't remember what they call us. Baby Boomers, there's Gen Zs, and we were Millennials. Yeah, I feel like we are the middle of the pack. We have seen both sides of the way this world is. And I think we're going to be the only people that really hold on to any of the old world. Where, like, we're not getting super offended because you said the R word or tistic or like we're not super worried about that. And I think it's the only thing that's really going to keep it here because I think people are getting a little too soft. I think we've went so far to like the I'm offended that now we're like, I think everyone started getting so fucking offended so fast all the time where it's like everywhere you're posting is someone's upset about something. No one's ever going to agree. One person has one opinion. The other person has a different opinion. Everyone's just fucking wrong to where we're getting to a point now where everyone is just so fucking sick of the fact that the majority of the population all agrees that like we are fucking soft as fuck and everyone's going the complete opposite way. Not like when it comes to like race or religion or sex or whatever, any of that shit, because no one gives a fuck. Be whatever fucking sex you want or gender you want, but don't put it on me to have to. I think that's the general thing. That's not me saying that because I just don't care. Like, I don't give a fuck. If you want me to call you porcupine, I'll call you fucking porcupine. I don't care. But I think that we're at that point now where like people got so sick of it that we're running like the Kool-Aid man through the wall the other way so that we don't lose it all. AI is fucking scary, but that's probably for a different day. Like that shit actually fucking is so mind blowing how fast the computer can do something that you're trying to do. Like I saw a video today. It was a guy had put in Chat GBT, draw me a mushroom. No, it was a marshmallow. A little marshmallow popped up and it said, draw me an angry marshmallow. And it's just like a cute little marshmallow with like slanted eyebrows and like squinted eyes and like an angry face. And it said, draw me an angry marshmallow with a marshmallow army. There's this big angry marshmallow with a bunch of little tiny marshmallows with um, like toothpicks. And then it said, draw him angrier. And then he's like, he's on fire and his eyes are red and everyone else is angry. And then it says, make the marshmallows fight or take over the world. And then it has them like in Paris and in India and in the Netherlands, like taking over everything. Like you can see all like the landmarks and they're burning shit down. All these marshmallows are doing this. And I'm just like, do you know how fucking long it would take someone to animate and draw that out that the computer just did in 19 different versions in 50 fucking seconds? Like we are getting replaced. You can't replace humans because like always or in every example of the meaning, that's not what I wanted to say. That sounds so stupid. In every example of the meaning, who the fuck do I think I am? I think that the benefit to rich people goes away when people don't work. If we don't work, how do we spend money on your shit that you're trying to make money on? Like, I don't see it happening because North America, I think, is ran by companies. I think the government has fucking barely any to really do or say or change. Like, not in a way that I think that like they can't do anything, but I think that the money that comes into their campaigns, the money that keeps the jobs here and the business here and the products here, I think is definitely how it is ran. I have fucking ADHD. Oh my God, I got a little bit of the tism, you know what I mean? Like I am fucking losing my goddamn marbles. Like I I'm ready for Mexico. I am. I think that like majority of the vacations that I've been on, I'm not like super fired up about them before I go because it's just like you put so much pressure on something to be so much fun that I feel like you get disappointed when it's not exactly what you were looking for. And in life right now, like with how expensive everything is and how hard it is to just like manage shit and know what the fuck you want to do or where you want to live or what job you want to have or what's the right thing to do. Am I going to be happy? Like, I don't know who else goes through this, but does anyone else have like a fucking big fear of being like 40-ish years old and regretting how they got to where they are or just where they are. Like, they don't like the job they have. They don't like their spouse. They don't like their fucking shitty kids in their shitty house, in their shitty life. And it's because they felt the pressure at the age of like 22 to make the decisions for the rest of their life. Excuse me. Do you really think that you need to be 23 years old and have everything in your fucking life figured out? Like, do you think at this point you need to have found someone to marry, start having kids, buy your first home, work on getting your job laid out for a full successful career? Like, why do you think that? Why the fuck do we think like that? I understand that for a majority of the older generation, that's what you do. That's how you live a sustainable life. That's how you have good work ethic and good drive and good goals and like you are a great human being. But fuck that. I like my job a lot. I like how much I make a lot. I like how I'm treated a lot. I like the people around me a lot. But if that ever changes, ever, even a little, I'll throw it all away. I wouldn't even say that happiness, I guess, is my number one priority. It wasn't for a long time. Money was my top priority for a long ass time. But at this point now, it's like time is not, like I said, like you don't need to live every single fucking day like it's your last because like it would get aggressive. But realize that a decade of your life is a fucking lot. Like there's a good chance that 10 years of your life is like a seventh of your whole life. A seventh. That's 10 summers, 10 springs, 10 falls, 10 winters that are important as fuck. And not for the aspect of getting someone to marry you and have kids with you and buy a house with you at the age of 20 so that you can be where you think that you should want to be by the age of 30. Like, what the fuck are you running for? So that when you're 30, you fucking hate the fat slob you decided to marry, or your kids are fucking assholes, and you're in a house that you can't afford because you're strung out trying to look good to the rest of the people who don't give a fuck? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I think that I'm very, very, very fortunate to have a wife and partner. Partner? That sounds like I'm dating a dude. I am very, very lucky to have my wife who, although could be happy just buying a home and staying here and going and to work every day and then going on some trips, she probably could be. But she understands that my goal is to fucking live a life that is unfathomable, that it seems so unreachable, that she's ready to grind with me. Go to the gym with me at 5 o'clock in the morning, plan meals together. We're on a strict budget now. We don't need to be like, we actually do fairly well for our age and the way the world is right now. If I was to say that I wanted to do anything in my 20s, it's become debt free. I think that before we start thinking about getting married, having kids, buying a home, I think we should worry about not having debt. I think that's what changes us as a generation. I think that everything is revolved around payments now. You can go to fucking Staples and buy a MacBook Pro and put it on a payment plan. I'm just telling you right now, if you can't come up with $3,000 to buy a laptop, don't buy the fucking laptop. There's other laptops out there that can get you through while you save the money to get one that's really good, really fast. Like if you're a Mac person or a nice PC desktop or whatever you want, you can go to Tepperman's, and I've done it. I have one right now because at 0% interest, it fucking seems pointless to take your money out of the bank. It's not costing you anything else to let someone else borrow it for you. But you can put all your furniture into payments. You could go buy $100 lamp from Tepperman's and put it on your finance. It just seems like everyone's whole world revolves around payments right now. Like a car, house is an obvious, furniture. You can go to Long and McQuaid's and buy these mics. They're 400 and no, these ones specifically are 300. You can finance it. 0% interest, 6 months. I've done it. I did it with my first one. I bought out my second one because I was like, this is fucking stupid. I understand it's 0% interest, but why have that money just leaving when you don't know about it? Just pay for it and get it over with. I'm also preaching. This is one of my goals. This doesn't have to be your goal. You could fucking eat rocks and have a terrible husband or amazing husband or great kids or terrible kids. Be married, be gay, bi, straight, whatever the fuck you want. I'm just thinking that the way to get ahead is to become debt free as fast as humanly possible. In my mind, being miserable for 12 months, 1 year, hopefully at least 1/70th of my year, or 1/70th of my life, I'm miserable, making every extra fucking dollar I have go to paying off mine and my wife's debt. Gone. Empty. No more debt. We are sitting at that point at a complete even where our only monthly bills are rent and hydro. If you just put that into your mind where the only things that get removed from, like you take your entire paychecks for an entire month, you and your spouse, or even just you, and you just minus rent, how much money are you left over with every single month? Because right now, there's so much of your money going to fucking shit that you bought, I don't know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago that you're still fucking paying for. Why? Credit cards? You don't need a fucking credit card if you got an extra $3 of disposable income every fucking month because they're not going to stupid fucking payments. I don't know. This is supposed to be a comedy podcast, and I'm over here talking fucking finances. I grew up, I don't know fucking shit about finances. Nothing. I invest. I let my investor do that shit. I did a budget sheet where mine and my wife's paychecks get separated properly so that as soon as my wife's paycheck comes in, it goes straight to debt. I pay for everything. Her money goes to our debt. There's an easy way to separate it. That's brutal. Who the fuck wants to listen to some guy that's supposed to be telling comedy shit how to fucking pay off their debt? Like, who gives a fuck? You know what? Buy some Zyn. I'll piece together a fucking great weekend here, okay? I'll piece together a fucking perfect weekend, okay? You go to the variety store right now. You pick up a fucking 6-pack of Bush, Bud, Miller, whatever the fuck floats your boat. You buy 2 fucking tins of Zyn, okay? You don't want the tobacco ones fucking end your life. Just get the nicotine India and get your fucking head juiced. Head out to the local golfing course. All right, so you pick up 6-pack of beer, 2 tins of Zyn, head to the old golf course, crank a fucking 12 course, 12 hole course. Fuck, I can't even speak English. You got beer, you got Zyn, you got a golf course. You got a 14-leg fucking parlay with 50 cents on it to pay out $200,000 that you're fucking jacked about. Best decision you ever made. Guaranteed to fucking hit most of them anyway, so who gives a fuck? You might be rich at the end of the game. You crank your fucking 6 Bud Lights in the parking lot with your boys. You head out to the course. You start packing that lip full of Zyn, cranking some fucking Bud Lights, Millers, whatever the fuck you decide to do, some Michelobs. Just get them all going down nice and smooth. You're fucking just striping your driver. You're fucking chipping on. You're putting like a fucking maniac. Then you get that buzz going, and that fucking just buzz starts a rocking, and the Zyn is just knocking on your forehead like someone that's trying to get into a house that they don't own. You know what I mean? That's a good day. You get to the turn, there's a fucking just rocking set of glizzies on this fucking automatic roller. You've got a Zyn in, you fucking spit that bitch out. You crank this fucking giant glizzy. Just a greasy, cheesy fucking glizzy. Wow, it sounds like I was going to make love to it. And you hop back on that course. Your fucking gut is full. Now your lip is full. Your fucking head is full of Zyn. Your fucking gut's full of pints. And you're just cruising with the boys, getting ready to crack 100 for the first time. That is a good fucking summer day. Anyway, that's about all the time I got. It's like another 25, 30-minute episode. Really get fucking just ranting through that shit, eh? You know what I mean? Like, life's gonna end real soon, probably for everyone. So, like, just go out and live your life to the fullest. Pay off your debt. Don't fuck a loser and marry a bum that you're gonna hate in the next 10 years and have shitty kids with. Just be a fucking regular human being, and hopefully the interest rates go down and the prices of houses fucking skyrocket to the ground. And like, can't really hope for a recession because that sounds like a crazy thing to hope for, because I don't really truly understand what that would entail. But really hope the market crashes for the houses. Okay, yeah. Happy Tuesday. It's actually Monday. Episode comes out tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. If you are watching it, please rate, review, subscribe on YouTube. Give us a review on Spotify and on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. Give it a share. Okay, if there's anyone in your life right now that either you need to go crank a golf course with and smash some fucking glizzies, or maybe needs to fucking figure out their finances, fire this over to them and let them decide whether or not they're the one that's going golfing with you, or the one that you think that they have a fucking money problem. Anyway, that'll start a fun conversation. Cheers.